So today we are starting the Unit 3 of BBA 205 course of Business Ethics and CSR. So Unit 3, in Unit 1 we had broadly covered the definitions of ethics, definition of values, and Edgar Sheen's perspective on values and organizational culture. We studied dominant culture, what is a dominant culture, individualistic societies, and we covered collectivist societies. We covered all these areas, and we also tried to cover. We did the study of code of conduct of several companies, HCL, Reliance, Bharat Petroleum. We also studied the whistleblower policies, which are aimed at protecting the people who blow the whistle, that is, people who point out towards certain breach of conduct or certain breach of company rules or regulation or country's rules and regulation violations. So they are called the whistleblowers. We studied that. We also studied the process of stress. What is stress? What is personal stress? What is organizational stress? What are stressors? And is there something called eustress or a stress which is not so bad? The difference between eustress and distress. And we also studied the what is chronic stress, and we studied the process of stress in respect of time. From the organizational perspective, we also studied how organizations can contribute towards significant lowering of stress and why optimal amount of stress is good for the organization and the employees. We also studied how more than optimal stress becomes stressful for the employees. I gave you a we did a case study of dad's report card in which I narrated to you my own experience of dealing with stress as a young person who was straight out of college and had to manage a large workforce of blue collared workers. We also studied knowledge, we also studied wisdom. What is a knowledge worker? Upton Sinclair's concept of blue collared and white collared workers, and Peter Ferdinand Drucker's concept of knowledge workers. Why are knowledge workers important? And what are the characteristics of knowledge worker? And we also did a kind of a debate as to if a company has to choose between between two guys for the position of CEO, would it be rather a knowledge worker and a wisdom worker? And I gave you my perspective on why these are not mutually exclusive things. It is not that if you are wise you don't have knowledge, or if you have knowledge you can't be wise. And I explained to you the right blend. So we did knowledge, we did examples from various companies. We quoted Infosys, and we covered housing.com, how a maverick worker nearly wrecked the company. Okay, so we studied that. We also studied a lot of Vedant. We studied Sakam Karma and Nishkam Karma. The law of karma we studied. I explained to you the concept of Sanchit Karma and Prarabdh. And I tried to explain to you, of course. Maybe I succeeded or not, I don't know, but I did my best. And some of the students did write to me asking for clarifications as to what is destiny and how can how can we make an impact in our own lives in spite of the fact that there is destiny. So I explained to you that destinies are those circumstances over which you have no control, and beyond that you have every control over yourself. So I think Unit 1 and Unit 2 is very, I would say the course was structured very well by the university, and we tried to do justice. In the event of lack of kind of a comprehensive book which covers the course from A to Z, I provided you the notes also, and we have provided the video lectures on our application website, DME Colpol. Unit 3 is a slightly subjective kind of a study, we will discuss what is meant by progress and result definition. And this is important because in the corporate world and in the world which is beyond academics, results are perceptible, measurable factors which come to play every day in your life. What were your daily sales? What are your daily collections? Daily results. What is your daily production? What is your weekly production? Progress. From start, where are you? Have you covered the journey? We will study the process of transformation. What is transformation? Why should organizations transform? What happens if an organization does not transform? We will study the process and challenges of transformation. After that, we will come to definition of success. This I also covered in unit 2, but we will try to cover it here in greater detail. What are the principles of competitive success? What is the prerequisite to create a blueprint for success? And then we will also do a lot of successful stories of business gurus. In this, I will give the class at least 8 to 10 case studies, and in every TL, the every student will have to present to me a success story of a business guru. So that is how we will cover unit 3, and I hope to cover unit 3 with you in the month of October. By first week of November we should finish unit 3. So it's a interesting course. Uh, Looks not so objective in the sense, cannot be quantified, cannot be defined like a course of mathematics can be. But believe me, you will enjoy this section. Let's proceed. Thank you. I think a good way of studying Unit 3 is to first formulate as to what are the questions that arise when we talk about success, when we talk about progress, when we talk about measurement of results, when we talk about transformation. Because these are a bit abstract. After all, how much can we talk about success? Well, some people can keep on talking about success, but let me try to give you a set of questions which have been asked in the past on this subject, so that once we know the questions and then I give you the course, I unveil the contents to you, you will have a better appreciation of what I am talking about. One question which is most often asked is why there is a need for transformation of organizations. What are the challenges before organization to attain them or attain it? क्यों organizations में transformation होनी चाहिए? And believe me, uh, this question comes every year. First of all, what is transformation? Transformation. What is the difference between transformation and change as we talk in daily terms? Or what is the difference between transition and transformation? Transition is when you are transiting from stage 1 to stage 2. Suppose in an organization, I am, let us take the case of our own esteemed college, the great college DME of Noida, where you all are students and I am your teacher. If you recall, 4 or 5 years ago, we used to take attendance verbally. I will call out Rahul Sharma, you will say yes, sir, and I'll put it on the Excel sheet. But gradually, we introduced the system of Colpol, and it is our own enterprise resource and planning software. Uh, it's a third party application which we have bought the rights, and it is customized to our organization's need. So this is transition. We have transited from taking attendance physically and I taking on my attendance register or my on my Excel sheet. I have transited, and now I take my mobile, I call out your name, and I just keep on pressing a button, and at the end, the attendance is updated. The moment you say yes sir and I press the button and I complete the process, a alert goes to you that in today's class you have been marked present. So if you don't get that alert, you immediately send me a WhatsApp message, sir, I was in the class today, but I have not been alerted by the call poll. Okay. So this is a transition. Transition keeps on happening. Every year transition happens. You transit from being year one student to year two student. But transformation is much more than transition. Transformation is when you enter as raw students, we transform you in a 3 year fixed time into business graduates, undergraduates, and we equip you with some skill sets, and most importantly with an attitude of being a successful business executive or an entrepreneur or a teacher maybe. So transformation. So this is the question, why there is a need for transformation of organization. A similar question is asked, explain the concept of managing transformation. How do you correlate the need for such approach in the changing economic scenario? How do you correlate the need for such approach in the changing economic scenario? You see the changing economic scenario today when the entire world is gripped in pandemic and the GDP is down by more than 20%. It is expected that this year's GDP will be down. But why only our GDP? The world over the GDP is down. So how do organizations transform themselves? I know of Google which has announced work from home plan till end of 2021. End of 2021. There is a company in Coimbatore. Actually, I know the regional manager of the guy who works in Coimbatore. They have announced work from home. They will dispense with the system of regional offices. When I was working in Nestle, when Exxon and Mobil got merged, I used to work for Exxon. So in India, Mobil got the upper hand. I was the CVL leader for North India, commercial vehicle lubricant leader for North India. And when we got merged with Mobil, then a transformation took place that we will not have regional offices. Everybody will work from home. I'm talking of 2002. So we just had a registered office in Gurgaon, and then everybody, including except the accounts team and HR team and the CEO, everybody worked from home, closer to customers. So somebody could be in Calicut and he could be managing all of India. Okay. So transformation. Sometimes a question is asked, write a short note on measuring social transformation. Social transformation, how societies are getting transformed. Another question which is asked, so I've given you three questions. Another question which is asked is, identify any business guru you admire and highlight his contribution to business. This is a very important part. Identify any business guru you admire and highlight his contribution to business. So you can say Jack Ma is a businessman I admire. You can say Jeff Bezos is a businessman I admire. You could say that Bini Bansal or Sachin Bansal is a person I admire, or the founder of Paytm is a person I admire, or Narayan Murthy is a person I admire, or maybe Azim Premji is a person I admire. Okay, you could choose any guru and you could say, you could come out and tell how that person started, what are the challenges he faced, what were the economic challenges, what were the social challenges, structural challenges, legislation challenges, competitive challenges a person faced, how he surmounted them. You will find that all business gurus have one thing in common, and these are principles of competitive success: strategy. Strategy, the long-term perspective of where I want my company to reach. What do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? Strategy, long-term vision. And that strategy is backed by meticulous planning to execute that strategy. Strategy alone has no meaning. Strategy alone is useless. if that strategy is not implementable or cannot be implemented, or one does not have guts to implement that strategy, it is very easy to say India must have goods and services tax, one nation, one tax. Very easy to say. To have strategy. To implement it is tough, very tough. To say that everybody, India must have unique identification, Aadhaar card. Every person must have one unique Aadhaar card. To implement this and achieve this is difficult, very difficult. So UID, to everybody has Aadhaar card today in the world, in India, or most people have. So you can start by saying, no, if we have Aadhaar cards and it's an attack on our privacy and it's an attack on this and an attack on that. There are challenges, but you have to have guts to achieve it. So business gurus do it. A lot of credit should be given. A lot of credit should be given to the former Infosys chairman who came as head of UID and who implemented the Aadhaar, and who actually the government to the current regime which linked Aadhaar to business to PAN, and which linked Aadhaar to various other things. It is because of Aadhaar that it is possible to do direct benefit transfer DBT effectively. Otherwise money subsidy which was meant for workers was going to ghost workers. So these are some of the questions. Some other questions which are asked is, I'm reading from ipjugaad.com, which is a website where all the old years question papers are there. Explain the role of transformational leadership in achieving business success. What is the role of transformational business leadership in achieving business success? Because business success cannot be achieved by merely incremental steps. You can stay afloat. You can stay afloat. Tomorrow, metamorphosis happens in the market and you are gone. So transformation. Of course, there are questions like write a short note on principles of competitive success. The question is asked, what are the barriers to transformation? How can functions of progress be applied to overcome these barriers? Functions of progress. What is meant by measuring progress with reference to business administration? So how do you measure progress? We will explain. What are the prerequisites to create blueprint for business success? What is a blueprint? Blueprint is a plan. It's a detailed, exhaustive plan. So how do you achieve? What are the prerequisites to create blueprint for business success? One question which is asked is, write a brief note on tunnel vision. What is a tunnel vision? So right now, what is my tunnel vision? You see, I am looking in the computer monitor. So I can see, if I stretch my, see this is, this is, this is a vision. I am looking here. This is a tunnel vision. And this is peripheral vision. If I do like this, so till which point I can see. As you, tunnel vision in ophthalmology, in medical sciences, it means when you lose your peripheral vision. If you are driving a car, you can also look here and sidewards, slightly backwards towards this. So once you lose it, it becomes a tunnel vision, focused vision. But in business, you can't develop tunnel vision. You need to have a peripheral vision also. The question is asked on this. A question was once asked, everybody talks of transformation, but to put things into practice is indeed quite difficult. Give your views. Everybody talks of transformation, but to put things into practice is indeed quite difficult. Give your views. Yet another question is, explain need for transformation. What are the different challenges transformation faces? Share a success story of business guru. What, in your opinion, were the driving force for his or her success? So these are some of the questions which are asked. So in the next slide, we will try to define what is progress and what is meant by result. Because when we are talking of transformation, first of all, we have to understand what is progress, and what is meant by result. Progress means to move forward, aggrasar hona, unnati. and result means natija. We know this, but let's try to understand in a more uh, succinct and more detailed manner as to what is progress and what is result definition. We will discuss first progress and result. Progress is something which it's a word which we use in day-to-day life. We say that this gentleman has really progressed in life. Huh? We say he has progressed from a troublemaker as a child to a very responsible adult. This small boy, from being a college dropout, he has progressed to become a successful business tycoon, or from being an irresponsible son, he has become a very responsible householder. Okay, so all of this is called progress. So, progress is nothing but it's a forward or onward movement. When you march forward, you start from a particular point and you have a destination in mind, and you may not reach that destination immediately. If you take the case of a political party, a party which had only two member of parliaments around 25 years back, it made a plan, it made a progressive strategic plan that it will come into a majority after so many years, and they worked incrementally towards it. So when you talk of progress, progress is relative. You cannot say that a person or a team or an organization is making progress unless there is nothing to measure that progress. From being a team, Indian team which used to be beaten by every other cricket playing nation in the early 80s, India became a world beater under Kapil Dev. It became a team nobody could beat, and later on under Saurav Ganguly and under MS Dhoni, India became a team which was number one in Test cricket, number one in ODI, One Day International, and it was number one in T20. So your measuring process by way of ICC ranking. Where are you in the ICC ranking? In ICC ranking, you are number one as a Test playing nation. You are number one as a in One Day International, and you are number one in T20. Okay, so from where one was at the start to where he or she is now. The purpose is to make intentional advancement towards the goal. The operative word is intentional. A progress cannot be unintentional. Then that progress has no meaning. You look at our own body. When we were born, we weigh less. We weigh 1 kg, 2 kg, but normal human being, a normal male will weigh 60 kg plus by the age of 40. So, of course, this is also a progress, but this is this is natural for all. This progress is seen, it has become more pronounced when a person is not gaining weight, he is too thin, or he is too fat. So, too thin, under progress, too fat, bad progress. Okay, so then intentionally you will have food supplements or nutrient supplements to increase weight, or you will go on a diet plan or on an exercise plan to reduce weight. So as Amir Khan, when he played that role of a wrestler, a retired wrestler who is training his daughters to become champion wrestlers. What was that movie called? Dangal. In Dangal, Amir Khan had to play the role of the father, and the role had it was a role across a generation. When he was himself a wrestler, at that time he had to weigh around 60 kg, 55 kg, and when he had retired at that point in time he was 92 kg. So it was a deliberate intention. I will explain to you when we come to that slide why Amir Khan said, okay, first I will increase my weight, because in the movie his 80% role was that of a father, a retired wrestler. So he says, and after I have played the role of the father, I have done the shooting, I will reduce my weight, and then in the end I will play the role of a young wrestler. Because the director had said, you play the role of a young wrestler first, and then you gradually put on weight. So he said otherwise. He said, once I have played the role of a young wrestler and then I put on weight gradually, he said, then there will be no incentive to lose back to that weight. Because if I if I have the shoot of a weighty man and that portion of a thin man is still left, then I have to perforce reduce weight, isn't it? Yeah. So progress in knowledge, when we say this person has organization has progressed, the organization has made progress in knowledge, progress in business, progress in education degrees. Like you are studying BBA, you will study MBA. Some some may also do a doctorate or higher courses. Progress in savings, the savings will increase. Progress in wealth, progress in wisdom, progress in health, progress in overall well-being. So there is something called personal progress, in which you say that he has progressed in life. Like when I was young, I was in school. Uh, we were living in RK Puram, and in my entire square of flats, we used to have double-story flats. Uh, Only my father had a scooter, and we were the only family with a scooter with a fridge and a TV set. I mean, you could count these families on your fingertips. So, but gradually, when Asia 72 came, suddenly the production of television increased. People started having TV, fridge, scooters became more easily available during the 80s. Okay, so people made progress. Generations have made progress. Countries have made progress. You will not believe, as youngsters we had to queue up in the milk booth of Delhi Milk Scheme. And we would queue up at Delhi Milk Scheme DMS at 5 p.m. and we used to get a token, and there was a token card. It's a aluminium card. On it it was written family size 5, allowed milk allowed, one toned, one buffalo. So buffalo milk used to be milk which had cream, full cream, and toned was which had the cream had been whipped away, it had been skimmed. So I used to stand in the queue, one toned and one buffalo. That is what used to be allotted to us, and there would be fight. Sometimes we will not get any milk, and then started the Operation White Flood. Operation Flood. What was it? What was it called? The Milk Revolution, which was started by Varghese Kurian. Operation Flood, and India became self-sufficient in milk. And today India is a net milk exporting nation. When I was in school, we used to know every family used to have a ration card. We would go because wheat was not easily available, rice was not easily available. I go back to my grandfather's generation. My grandfather said that any family which used to eat wheat chapati was considered as a progressive family, a rich family. Wheat was not easily available. Wheat came to us much later. Traditionally, Indians used to eat that coarse cereal, coarse grain rotis. So, as a country, India has made progress. There was hardly any electricity. The streets were not well lit. So, So, how do you measure progress? You have milestones. When you have country progress, personal progress, I have explained. Business progress, organizational progress, business progress. or organizational progress, one and the same thing. Industry progress. How many scooters were made in India during the 80s, during the 90s, and how many are being made now? Industry progress. How many tractors were made? How many HP, horsepower of tractors? What are the various horsepower varieties of tractors that were manufactured in India? There used to be just Escorts, Eicher, and Punjab tractors. And in South, there used to be just Tafe. Mahindras came in a big way. Many tractor companies have come. Ford came, it made a comeback in India. New Holland tractors came. Sonalika tractors came. Eicher expanded its plant. So the industry improved. So progress and results are intertwined. Intertwined. Unless you have a concept of measurability, you cannot say that somebody has made a progress or somebody has not made a progress. Related to progress is result. What is the result of yesterday's match in IPL? That KKR defeated Rajasthan Royals. This is the result. A tower collapsed as a result of safety violation. You know, this telecom, I keep giving you examples which are close to my heart. You know, the telecom towers, the masts which you see on which they will hang antennas and radios. So there was a case of dancing towers. Towers used to dance with the as the wind speed increased because the towers became overloaded. They would even crash. So the tower would crumble down suddenly. Fortunately, uh, nobody used to live under the tower. Otherwise, you know, the person. Many towers used to crash in Nigeria. We used to call them dancing towers. In business term, result means an outcome, consequence, or conclusion of a problem. Conclusion of a problem. Uh, there was uh, one day it so happened that a tank truck driver carrying diesel, he unloaded that truck of diesel in the underground tank which contained petrol. So what was the result? Result was a contamination, serious contamination. So what was the outcome? Outcome was the product got contaminated. The product had to be taken back to the terminal, and the product had to be upgraded in the petrol tank. It cannot be उस प्रोडक्ट को फेंकेंगे तो नहीं. वो 12,000 लीटर जो प्रोडक्ट था उसको पेट्रोल के टैंक में डाल दिया. क्यों डाल दिया पेट्रोल के टैंक में? डीजल के टैंक में क्यों नहीं डाला? क्योंकि पेट्रोल का फ्लैश पॉइंट बहुत लो होता है. It can, if you put that, suppose it is put into the kerosene tank, then the kitchen stove will blast. Huh? Result. What is the result after the probe or the experiment after a period of time? Demonetization ho gaya. What is the result of that demonetization? GST has been implemented. What is the result of the GST? Has it led to improvement in center-state relationship? Has it led to less evasion of tax? Has it led to ease of doing business? Result. The conclusion of anything can be one result, multiple result. There can be no result. And the length of time taken to find a result can vary from 1 second to many years. Suppose there is a mosquito sitting here and I do like this and the mosquito result is the mosquito has died. But suppose God forbid I am bitten by a mosquito which is carrying a virus. So the result will make itself visible after some days, maybe after a week, not immediately. Not immediately. You will be surprised the result of rabies virus. It can lie dormant in a man's body, and it can take effect after many years. It can take effect after many years. Result is also, the data which is received after processing for a query. For example, when you submit when you submit a query on Google, Dr. Sudhir Best. So the online search engine, will process the user's query. Agar if Rakesh is the one who has put that, so Rakesh query will be done and the results will be generated in a fraction of second. So result can come quickly, results can come late. The result of plans which are strategic, they come late. Results of plans which are tactical, they come easy. So, for example, if there is a batsman and who is going out to hit every ball, he has made up his mind that he will go and hit out at every ball. He will go dancing down the pitch and he will hit the ball. So, a bowler can change his tactics. How will he change his tactics? वो उसको फ्लाइटेड डिलीवरी डाल देगा या बॉल बहुत ज्यादा शॉर्ट डाल देगा या उसको he will send him a full toss ball, which and the batsman will be taken aback and he will hit it and somebody will take a catch. Tactics, it has brought immediate result. There could be a strategy. Strategy is I will use Jasprit Bumrah for first change. He will come in over number 3. But I will reserve him. He is my best bowler. He can bowl excellent Yorker with perfect length. Bowling a Yorker, nobody can hit you out for a 6 normally, but it has to be pitched rightly. If it is pitched badly, you are out for a 6. Or if a batsman is standing outside the crease, then you have to change the delivery length of your toe crushing Yorker. The distance will have to be changed, the length will have to be changed. So using Bumrah in 1 over, then within a match span, this is strategy. So results can come differently. So in business, you have to measure results. In business, you have to measure progress against results. I hope you have understood the concept of progress and the concept of results in terms of business. Try to understand that how can we measure progress? Progress, Progre. Let me also correct that spelling mistake here which I made. How to measure progress? So physical progress can be measured by it can be measured by health parameters and body condition. For example, BMI, body mass index, is a measure of your physical progress. What is body mass index? The mass of your body in relation to the height of in relation to your height, it gives you body mass index. So is your body mass index, if it is more than 25, you are considered fat, and if it is more than 30 or 29, you are considered obese. Okay, so your physical progress, if you are trying to reduce weight, so because you cannot compare that because Ravi Shastri is 90 kilos. So, and if I am 70 kilo, I am good. No, we can't compare. I am 5 foot 5 inches. Ravi Shastri is 6 foot 1 inch. He's a tall man. Plus, uh, he is much more older than me. Or he's older than me. He's not doing any sedentary work. Perhaps he's not older than me actually. Perhaps he's my age group. But he's a tall man. So I have to see my BMI and he has to see his BMI. And also you have to understand that when you are progressing, when you are trying to compare, are you doing a comparison which is valid or not? For example, if you are a consulting company, okay, I'll give you the example of business organizations later, but for example, if you can run 100 meters in 13 seconds, you should be reasonably good, happy. But if you are aspiring to be a sprinter and you are running 100 meters in 13 seconds, your progress is not good. But if you are a hobby runner, your progress is good. So physical progress. What is mental progress? How do we measure mental progress? Mental progress also is manifested in your physical progress. If you are too tense, your blood pressure level, the higher on the higher side it will be 140, on the lower side it will be 90, 100. So very bad. So mental progress, mental equanimity also is manifested in physical parameters. But mental progress you measure by emotional well-being, serenity. Are you feeling good? Sense of at peace with the world. This is mental progress. Or suppose you get uh, you get very jealous if the other guy has made progress, if other guy has won and you have not won. And by practicing yoga and by self-help techniques, by giving auto suggestion to yourself, you try to develop a feeling of detached involvement. You don't get upset with the result or the progress of others. So, and next time you saw that, your neighbor bought a shining new car and you felt happy for him and you didn't feel it, get a tinge of jealousy in you. You have made mental progress, isn't it? In relationship, how do we measure progress? We two young, a young boy and a young girl in office, they are attracted to one another, then they have started having meals together in the cafeteria or having a cup of tea. When they meet at the water cooler, they exchange pleasantries. It's progressing, relationship is progressing. And when finally they step out for a date or for a movie, the relationship is progressing. This is the result of, this is how you measure the result in a relationship. A personal well-being. Okay, uh, you are 30 years of age and you hold a steady job, you have a car against which you have to pay a loan, but you are easily able to pay off the loans, your equated monthly installments. You have bought a car and you're paying 990 rupees per lakh, for it's an installment for 5 years, and you are able to pay it off easily. Your saving prospects are good. So this is how you measure your financial well-being. You have to make a plan. You have to make a financial plan that I should try to save this much by this, and these are my expenses, this is my income, this is what I can do without stretching. Can I save something? This is how you measure progress. When it comes to organization, what are the business parameters of progress? I will discuss this in the next slide. Thankfully, the business parameters of progress are quite well defined because business has evolved over the years. I keep giving this example that Twitter, perhaps even today, does not make profit. I don't know. Till 2 years ago, it was not making profit. Is it Jack Dorsey's company? Yes. So it had not made profit, but it had made progress because in his business plan, it will not make profit, but it will have so many subscribers, and they will start to have advertising features by that many years, and they will start to make advertisement by this many years. So it will make progress. That was the business plan. So although no profits in the first 5 years, 6 years, yet progress as planned. So business parameters of progress is revenue. What is your revenue in year one? If your business plan says your revenue in year one should be 200 crore rupees, if you are an exporter, suppose you export basmati rice to Far East countries from India, and you say I will export 100 crores worth of basmati rice in year two. In year one will be spent in establishing the office, hiring people, going making bazaar market visits, tying up with the buyers abroad, having my own portal or something like that. But year one I'll make a revenue of 100 crores. So revenue. If I make revenue of 100 crore, what will be my expense? Revenue minus expense, if it is there, if that block is there, that means you're making profit. Another way could be market share. Like I was trying to change my car, I went to MG Motors, and they have a brand. It's just that car. It's more of a computer than a car. Actually, I had a test drive, but I was asking them, how's the car? How are you? How are sales? They say sales are very good. I found out sales are very good because production is very small. Their sale target is very low. MG Motors, Hector, MG Hector. I had a test drive, a very good car, but I was scared. It's all computer. Do they have number of service stations to back up customer support? I don't know. So market share is very important. So a new motorcycle company can say, okay, in my year one, I want to. Harley Davidson is leaving in India now because it wanted to have a market share of, let us say, 5%, 6%. It could not achieve a market share of 2%. So that means this market is not for them. Number of units sold. This can also be a business parameter of progress. Gross merchandise value, GMV. Flipkart and now Flipkart, of course, owned by Walmart. Flipkart and Amazon, they did not say that they will make this much of profit in year one, year two, year three, year four. So our gross merchandise value should be so many crores. Our GMV should be high. Eventually, Sachin Bansal said, eventually profits will take care of itself. I should focus on gross merchandise value and adding value to the customer, new subscribers, new downloads of my app. Gross merchandise value, number of units sold. Some companies may look at customer satisfaction. So let's take the two aeroplane manufacturers, Boeing and Airbus. Very few wide-bodied aircrafts are manufacturers are there. So they give emphasis on customer satisfaction. They do engage agencies to do independent surveys. They talk to the customers. They talk to the cabin crew. They talk to the pilots. They talk to the stewardess. They talk to the flight pursers. They talk to almost anyone who's a stakeholder associated with it. Customer satisfaction surveys they do. If you are high on customer satisfaction survey, you're making good progress. Another way of business parameter of progress is repeat orders. How many repeat orders are you getting? If you're not getting repeat orders, that means either your customers have died or the product is a long lasting product, it's a perennial product. But if you suppose if there are 10 diabetics who are buying medicines from a particular pharmacy shop, and they come to that pharmacy shop every month, and suddenly four have stopped coming. It's a like I buy my medicine from Apollo Pharmacy. So if I don't buy from them by 7th of every month, I get a SMS. Your medicine stock is maybe going, maybe depleting. Would you like to order online, or would you like to order? This is the number, this is the WhatsApp number. One parameter can be new markets that you open, new markets opened. Like Bajaj motorcycle has this very ambitious target. They wanted to be number one in Africa. So they opened in East Africa, then Mid Africa, Southern Africa, Western Africa, Northern Africa. Which market have you opened? Mozambique? I was hearing somebody say. Mozambique में खोला कि नहीं? One very important is market capitalization. What is market capitalization? Today, how big a company is, it is not measured in terms of sales. It is measured in terms of market capitalization. So Facebook, Amazon, Netflix and Google or Alphabet, FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, all these companies are, in terms of market capital, perhaps they are bigger than ExxonMobil or Shell. Market capital, market capitalization. Number of shares issued multiplied by your stock price that day is equal to market capitalization. India for a long time, the biggest company by market capitalization, it used to be ONGC sometimes back, and State Bank of India. Now, right now, biggest company by market capitalization is Reliance Industries Limited, and a distant second is HDFC. Distant second. SBI is not there now. Even Kotak Mahindra is very big by market capital. Very big. I think it should be second largest by market capitalization. Uh, Ahead of ICICI Bank also, I think. One parameter could be earning per share. What is earning per share? So the book value of share is rupee 1. The book value of the face value of the share is rupee 1. But the accumulated profit, the book value of the share is what? Suppose it is 9 rupee. This is earning, high earning. EPS is, it drives the share value. It drives market capitalization up. So these are some of the features, some of the business parameters of progress. I hope you have now understood progress and results.